So daily self-care is extremely important in college because in the past, you've had other people to tell you to do it. It's not something that we naturally think about. College is where you don't have your normal support system, and it's hard to get through because you're used to having your parents, your best friends from high school, your teammates if you were an athlete. But it's something that you're gonna have to build here. You're gonna have to find your new support system.
Another thing that's super important when you get to college is keeping all aspects of health, both mental and physical, in mind. And it's super easy, especially your freshman year, to get caught up in everything and taking a bunch of classes and going to a bunch of events. But at the end of the day, you need time to recharge yourself.
Just making sure that you really prioritize yourself. Yes, school is important. Yes, your extracurricular activities are important, but just making sure that you give yourself, whether that just be an hour a day of just detoxing all the stress and worries that you have, and just really focusing on how to better your own self.
So kind of finding your group and finding people that can help you through these difficult situations is extremely important, because mental health is something that'll sneak up on you. And it's not always the easiest to navigate if you're by yourself. So it's really important that you find those people that can kind of help you through those difficult times.
I think what self-care means to me is just making sure that you're taking care of yourself and you're making sure that you're the best version of you for all the other aspects of your life. Whether that means getting enough sleep at night to make sure you're paying attention in class the next day, or making sure that you're eating healthy so that you feel physically better. Self-care is super important and can be kind of hard to keep track of sometimes. So just making sure that you're even a little bit of time dedicated to yourself will make you feel better.
Another thing that I would also say is that a necessity is to have is that self-reflection time, because if you're going to neglect your what your mind and what your body is telling you, then you're never going to identify problems that you might have. It's really easy to be caught up with busyness, with friends, or with schoolwork, that you neglect yourself.
When you're coming into your freshman year, it can be really difficult, it can be really overwhelming, and it can be hard to think about mental health being a priority, but it definitely is. It's definitely very important to keep track of, to notice if you're having too many bad days, because that might just not it might just not be you don't want to go to class. It could be a more serious problem, and that's okay. You just have to acknowledge it and address it.
For me, it's being very diligent about setting aside time, because that's what makes me happy, to be able to talk and to talk about feelings and vent about daily things. For other people, it could just be that you need time alone. You need time to take 5 or 10 minutes to listen to music, or to read a book, or to meditate. For some people, it could be that they really like to cook and eat something healthy. It makes them feel better. So I think you have to identify whatever works for you, and that you have to take the time to do that.
Oklahoma State has so many great resources. Before I worked in the academic affairs side of campus, I actually worked in the Department of Wellness, so I do know that at the Colvin Center and in the Wellness Center, they have so many great programs for students and for faculty and for staff to get plugged in and to really facilitate that self-care and making sure that we're mentally healthy and we're emotionally healthy, and that we're taking those moments to check in with ourselves. We also have things like the Reboot Center, where sometimes you just need to go and check out for a minute. And they have a lot of really cool resources up there that can really help you do that and kind of maintain that mental balance. And then we also have our awesome Pete Pets Posse. We actually invite them down to the Lasso Center monthly. So we have furry friends who come down and visit with us, and I think that we enjoy it just as much as the students do. There's so many resources on campus, and so that's one thing I'm really thankful for, to work in a place and to have gone to school at a place that really does support all our holistic growth.
The Reboot Center is amazing. They have massage chairs. I've definitely gone in there and just sat and watched Grey's Anatomy on my phone for an hour in between classes. It's great. It's a great resource to have on campus.
Hands down, my favorite resource on campus is definitely Pete's Pet Posse, or as we like to call it, P3. Basically, it's just a group of therapy dogs that roam around campus. They're stationed in different places throughout the day, and you can find all that information typically on their Instagram. They'll post that. So it's really easy to keep up with them. My favorite thing that they do is they have these little like cards of each dog, so it's really fun to collect those and compare with your friends and see who's met the most dogs.
But there are lots of places that you can go to find those resources. So I work at Health Services, so that's the first one that jumps out to me. Obviously, we want you to stay healthy and free of illness or disease. So we can help with that. I mean, and it can be anything from a daily common cold to COVID-19, to you're stressed about eating. We offer nutritional counseling. We partner with counselors all over campus and in the community to provide mental health services. So University Counseling is another office that you can go to and do group sessions or telehealth appointments for mental health. The wellness department is a great one. We want you to stay healthy and active. I do know that they have implemented various safety measures so that you can still work out and be fit. The Lasso Center is a great one if you're looking for help with school because it's challenging. You're probably limited with the amount of time you can study with others or have group activities. So the Lasso Center is a great one. If you're confused about where to go or what to do, or there's numerous other issues that could be going on, First Year Success can link you with all of these resources.
Within Housing and Residential Life, we are reading through a book called Belong, and she talks about how you have your daily dose, and dose is an acronym. D stands for dopamine, and she describes it as when we get things done, that feeling of accomplishment releases some of that dopamine. O stands for oxytocin, and a lot of that can happen when we are physically touching someone. And so giving friends high fives or hugging people who are close, or even petting a therapy dog as an emotional support animal. S is serotonin, and I believe that's being outside and enjoying the sun. And so during this time, I've been walking outside quite a bit just to be outside and enjoy the nice weather. And then E within DOSE, D-O-S-E, is endorphins. And so working out in the morning or evening, whatever's best for you, but getting some sort of physical activity to release those endorphins. And so I've tried as much as I can to do all four of those on a daily basis to really find that well-being.
But one of the things that I do is I have check-ins with myself, but I also have people in my life that I've given permission to check in on me too and to ask me the hard questions. And I think that it's so important to have that person in your life, whether you're a student or in your career like I am. I think that it is really important to have people in your life that you're willing to give that permission to check in on you.
The first thing that is the most important, this does not matter if you're a freshman or if you're 50 years old, whatever, you need to be getting enough rest at night. The next thing is drinking plenty of water, maintaining, getting physical activity. We have a lot of great options for the virtual classes that the Wellness Center is offering. I think those are great. It could be a yoga class, it can be a bar class, whatever it is. Going outside and going on a walk, just trying to find a way to stay physically active. It's one of the best things you can do for your body and for your mind.
Setting aside half an hour of your time to go through and do little things that make you feel just more organized and prepared to deal with everything that has going on in your life right now. Like maybe picking up your room, doing some laundry, things like that. That's how I practice self-care, is just tidying things up. I also practice self-care through keeping plants alive. I really enjoy having plants in my room. I think it gives good life in there.
Identifying what are the best ways that you yourself get over or address the stress that you're going through. So for me, that's talking it out or doing some exercises, but for others that might be differently. So identifying what is it that is causing stress and how do you best address that.
I think that it is such an important thing to erase that stigma that counseling is just for people who are crazy or have issues. I think that counseling is really what helps people remain strong and to find that balance and to be able to continue to do the things that you love, to be able to do them well.